And back to a developing story now out of Effingham County. That's the investigation involving the deaths of those two children who were discovered at a home near Guyton.
14-year-old Elwin Crocker Jr. had not been seen in 2 years. His sister, 14-year-old Mary, was last seen in November. News 3's Martin Staunton is getting answers tonight from Effingham County.
Every suspect in this case has made their first appearance in court, and all have been denied bond, including the latest person arrested in this case.
That fourth person is 55-year-old Ray Anthony Prater. Prater is charged with concealing the death of another, cruelty to a child in the first degree, and possession of a scheduled or controlled substance. Prater is the boyfriend of the stepmother, Kim Wright, who is also under arrest, along with her daughter, Candace Crocker, and Crocker's husband, Elwin Crocker Sr.
And they have all been transported out of the county.
Any particular reason why they were transported out of the county?
Well, we want to make sure that they make it to court safely, so we have transported them to different locations.
Any CPS history here? Child Protective Services, DFACS?
As far as Child Protective Services or DFACS, I have personally been told that DFACS has been called before.
We contacted the Department of Family and Children's Services about Mary and Elwin Crocker Jr., but DFACS says it could be weeks before we receive that information. This makeshift memorial has been erected to remember both Mary and Elwin Jr., whose bodies was found here in Azalea Point, but neighbors share some disturbing news. In fact, one neighbor says he can't wait to speak with investigators because he's seen Elwin Crocker Sr. behind this home with a shovel on multiple occasions since Mary Crocker went missing. Sullivan says investigators will be speaking with that neighbor and urges people with information to come forward in this case.
If you think you've seen anything, if you saw someone back in the back digging, you saw a little girl wandering around, anything that you thought might have been a little strange at the time, but now you realize it could be very pertinent to this case. If you dealt with these children in school and you noticed anything, if you called DFACS on these because these children were malnourished or bruised up or anything that anybody saw, we need them to call the sheriff's office and talk to one of our detectives.
She says everyone working the case is feeling the heartbreak.
It shocks the consciousness, and it has definitely affected all of us.
Autopsies are underway to determine the cause of death, and once that is established, more charges could be forthcoming. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Martin Staunton, WSAV News 3.
Digging deeper now, we reached out to the Effingham County School District to find out more about the victims in this tragedy. Mary Crocker and Elwin Crocker Jr. were both former students. Mary was last enrolled during the 2017-2018 school year as a 6th grade student at Effingham County Middle School. Elwin Jr. was last enrolled through January 2014 as a 6th grader at South Effingham Middle School. Both children transferred to a homeschool program at the time of withdrawal.